Hi, happy Vlogmas. Today is day 2 of Vlogmas, my first day of actually talking to the camera. Yesterday we had a ice day from school, similar to a snow day, but it was because we got a really bad ice storm. We live in the rainforesty area of the state, so we sometimes get ice storms, actually quite often in the winter. But yeah, so with my son home, I am still not comfortable talking to the camera with people around, so I have to just do a little silent vlog, except for the 5 seconds of clip that I added in of me not being able to tie a bow, which is normal. I am not good with ribbons and stuff like that. So, but I got it done. So my hair is a friggin' mess. I took a shower. I prefer showers at night, and then I proceeded to lay down, and so my hair's a mess today. But it is, I really got to stop saying so it's later in the day. God damn it, I just did it again. It's later in the day. Unfortunately, the insomnia kicked in pretty hard last night, and I did not get sleep. I think I got like maybe an hour and a half, which meant that I was able to edit. Stop saying I was able to edit yesterday's Vlogmas day 1 video and get it posted. I got it posted bright and early this morning. So I figured I'd talk about Vlogmas a little bit. I always love watching people's Vlogmas. Stop saying I have people that I look forward to watching every year. Julianne from Lovebird Lane is one of my favorites. She doesn't always post regularly during Vlogmas, but I love watching hers. And then I'm gonna tilt the camera down just a touch so you can actually see what I'm doing. I also love Retro Claude. Hers and Engineering Knits usually does a Craftmas style. She has not posted in a while, so I'm hoping that she does do Craftmas this year, but I guess we'll see. I know she's been having some health issues, so I'm not. That pin is trash. So yes, I am looking forward to watching everybody's. But one of my things about Vlogmas is I'm hoping to do it, for fun, because I like watching them, and I think it'll be fun to do daily videos. But at the same time, I lead a very boring life, and 90% of the time you will catch me either sitting on the couch knitting, crocheting, doing embroidery, or you'll see me sitting here in my sewing area, which is a freaking mess. Please ignore. I'm not a clean person. let me rephrase that. I'm clean, like clean as in it's not a pigsty, but I am not organized. And when I do get organized, I lose stuff. So I don't do it very often. But I think it'll be fun to do this, even though I live a boring life. But one of the things that I would really like to do for Vlogmas is to have a little Craftmas part where I do a Christmassy, wintry craft every day for every day of Vlogmas / Craftmas. And that way I can kind of get in the Christmas spirit a little bit. Christmas is not my favorite holiday. It's not really my favorite thing at all. This time of the month's always really, or this time of the year is always really hard for me. December, parts of November, parts of January are when my regular depression and my seasonal depression combine to make one big mega depression, which is fun. I am medicated, so it's not as bad as it has been in the past, but I'm medicated. But it's still hard for me, and I don't really always enjoy Christmas time, so I always try to do some crafts, Christmas crafts. Last year I didn't get to do a lot because I was last minute rushing to finish my dad's Christmas sweater, which I finished like less than a week before Christmas, which was a traumatizing knitting event. I gotta be honest. But I try to do baking, and do Christmas treats and everything. Last year, every weekday, I would bake something, get something prepared, and then when my son got home from school, we would do decorating and stuff like that. I plan to do that this year as well. I don't know that I will today, and I definitely didn't yesterday, just because I am tired. I was saying earlier, it's later in the day that I'm starting this vlog because if you saw in the last clip, decided to sit and read my book. I'm reading Starship Troopers, which is really good, and cuddle the dog. And because of my wonderful lack of sleep last night, I fell asleep for a while, which I'm a napper. So I don't mind. I will nap if I get the chance. I will nap, especially with the fact that I have the epic insomnia sometimes. And if I'm not sleeping at night, at least I'm getting some form of sleep. So the dog and I had a cuddle and a nap. And now I'm getting ready to work on my Christmas. Ow! There was a freaking needle there. My Craftmas project for today, I saw like 2 reels doing these. I'm not gonna go rewatch it. I'm just gonna wing it and hope that they come out. But I have my little things. I'm doing 2 little trees. We will see how they go. I'm going to put in my audiobook. I am listening to this book. It's about a dude that gets lost in the woods. True story. But I am going to hopefully finish that because I don't have very much longer and get some sewing done. Not knitting, sewing. Okay. Okay, I have white thread in here because I'm currently working on a shirt or a top that is white. I'm going to be lazy and not turn out my thread. So So we'll just deal with white thread for this project. It'll be fine. Okay. One done. These are gonna take for freaking ever to flip out, but we'll do it. All right, I'm gonna work on this. Bye. I highly recommend, if you're going to do this pattern that has been all over the internet, pick a bigger tree with bigger area, because this is not easy to turn out. It's also going to be a heck of a lot smaller when finished than I thought it was going to be, but that's on me for printing a small tree. But yeah, I recommend, if you're going to do this, use a bigger tree cutout, preferably one that goes over at least 2 pages to, regular 8x10 printer paper pages. I just did one, and it is not big enough, but it's fine. I will make it work. Okay, so I have one mostly done. It just needs the bottom closed up. I need to stuff the other one, but I'm going to take a break from this. I gotta be honest, I am not at all enjoying the stuffing process, and I'm going to take a break. It's not really a big deal. I plan on this being a multi-day project. I started it yesterday, and hopefully tomorrow will be a finish. But for now, I want to do another embroidery project. So yesterday's embroidery project, I kind of free-handed it. I learned that my heat erasable fabric pens don't mark on black fabric, so I couldn't see crap, and my project ended up being crooked. Oh well, I'm not dealing with it. It looked cute. My son ended up hanging it in his room so that he has a little Christmas tree in his room. But I want to do another embroidery project. I really liked I can't remember what it's called, but around the outside there was that little like candy cane looking backstitch. I don't remember what it's called. I know that I saw it, but I want to do like actual candy canes and turn it into like a little pin, brooch pin thing. So I'm going to see, I was trying to see all of my heat erasable markers, pens, are colors that are not going to show up on black fabric. So that sucks. I don't know what I'm going to do. I know I have some like cream white-ish fabric that is more embroidery style, but I love black. Obviously, I made my Christmas tree black. So I prefer to do it on black. I'll just deal. I don't really need to, I mean, really, honestly, I don't need to mark on the fabric because I'm just going to do some little candy canes, and if they're crooked, that just means they got broke in the box. It's fine. So I'm going to see, looking for something that I can use as the backing for the pin. I'm probably going to cut out some cardboard or something, but I'm going to get a hoop. I'm going to get my floss, and I'll get this project going. So one of the things that I have set for this little bit is I'm doing a test knit for Jen. She is the Stitchin' Witch on Instagram, and I have done 2 other test knits for her recently, and I'm just in love with it. In love with her patterns. I'm working on these. Well, I will be working on these. I have not started them yet. Don't remember the name of these, and I did not print the cover page because I'm trying to save ink. But I am using a rather old yarn. I've had this for ages. I actually have 2 skeins of it, and I had started a shawl, didn't end up liking it. It's from the Woolen Homestead. I don't even know if they're dyeing yarn anymore. I have not seen their YouTube in a long time, their podcast, so I don't know, but it's in the color Bohemian Rhapsody, so that tells you when this yarn came out is when the movie came out. I also want to apologize for the lighting. The lighting's probably gonna suck for the entirety of this video because it's winter, it's in Alaska, we don't have a lot of windows. Even if we do, winter, Alaska, dark. It's barely light right now, but the yarn I'm using is, this is what it looks like. I love this color, and as you can see, there is a sparkle to it. I think this is gonna be beautiful in these mittens. I need to get started. So one awesome thing about Jen's patterns is she has your needles for loose knitters and for tight knitters. I tend to be a tight knitter, so I ended up using the tight knitter needles on the other fingerless gloves that I did. I'll stick in a picture. No, I won't, because that's gonna take too much editing, and I'm not gonna do that. If you're on my Instagram, I did those. I have not shared them on the podcast yet because I haven't made a podcast in ages. Oops. And then for the hat that I just finished and will need to upload photos to Instagram, I was right in between the loose knit and the tight knitters needle sizes. So I am probably going to start with the tight knitters gauge, or the tight knitter needles, which is a US 6. So glad I have US 6s right here. I'm gonna start it. I'll gauge swatch. I'm gonna start it, see if it's the right gauge. If it's not, then I will rip it out. But I'm not gonna knit a gauge swatch. I will use, most of the time when I do gauge swatches, or if I have to do gauge swatches, I rarely do them, but I start on the project and use that as a gauge swatch because I'm pretty good at figuring out my gauge. So far hasn't failed me, but we'll see. So I want to get this casted on. I'm gonna watch an episode of Naked and Afraid. It's my guilty reality show that I love, guilty pleasure reality show. I love it annoyingly too much. This is my current whip bag yarn. I've got a bunch of, like 3 different whips in there. I'm gonna get this started. I have about an hour before I need to get around to go get the child, so I'm hoping I can get some work done. What you doing? What you doing? You're a cutie. Oh, yeah, you're a cutie. Okay, I have a little bit before I need to go, about 15 minutes. So I need 2 more rows of the ribbing, but so far the ribbing at least is perfect on gauge. I'm thinking that I'll probably do, this is a US 6 4 mil for the ribbing. I might do the next size up as my dog can smell my snacks, so she's over here sniffing. I might do a 7 for the main body because I think the 8's gonna be too big. I'm not that tight of a knitter. So we'll figure that out. I got 2 more rows to do, which I'll do in a little bit. I'm having a snack. I forgot to eat today, so I am going off of a Red Bull and a bunch of water. So I'm having some pickled eggs. They're gross. I love them. They're gross. So, and my dog wants, she wants some. She likes anything pickled. She loves pickles. Okay, that's good. Okay, I got it done, and I've switched my needles. They look the exact same as the other ones. I'm gonna work on the ribbing, or not the ribbing, the body. Probably later, maybe, we'll see what I get up to. So today's been kind of a low energy day just because of my lack of sleep last night. I'm hoping tonight will be better on the sleep front and I can actually have a little bit more energy tomorrow so I can make a Christmas treats and finish both of my Craftmas projects, today's and tomorrow's. Both the ones that I started today. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with the little brooch. I definitely want to do something around the edge. I just have not figured out what exactly I'm going to do. But I figured I'd show you the project that I was working on in yesterday's vlog, and I will probably be working on throughout the entirety of this month's vlogs because it's the project that I'm most excited about. Put my tripod on top of my pattern for some stupid reason. So as soon as this pattern came out, I fell in love with it, but I was working on a cardigan test knit. I was behind on it because of mental health issues. I got behind on it. I finally got it done. So my little yay for finishing was to cast on this project, and like I said, I fell in love with the sweater the moment I saw it. It reminds me a lot of 80s sweaters. I'll explain it in a second once you see the pattern, but I fell in love with this pattern the second that I saw it, and that is the Loon sweater by CM Knits. I absolutely love this pattern. It reminds me of the 80s sweaters. They were popular in the 80s and I think a little bit in the 90s as well. But where you would have a sweater and there would be like a loon or a bird motif. There were a lot of loons, but like an animal motif embroidered into it. And I absolutely love this one. So I am trying to go for an oversized one. I decided to cast on the extra large. Normally I would go with a large. This one's already set to have positive ease. I opted for the extra large because that would give me 12 inches of positive ease, and I want an oversized sweater kind of like this one that I can wear with leggings and it covers my butt, so I don't have to worry about wearing real pants. But I am doing a black version with, I'll do the white stripe and then do the loons in black. Right now I just have, this is the back neck, the shoulder seams, and I am just working away on the back panel. I only started this Sunday and it's Tuesday, so I don't have a lot into it, but this will probably be the project that I work on tonight, I don't know what we're doing tonight. Probably just chilling. Normally we have date night on Tuesdays, and my son has life groups, but they are off for Christmas for the month of December. Last week was the last week, so we have a month off, and so today we can chill and watch something. I was looking for Christmas movies, but like I looked last night for Christmas movies, but to be honest, I'm just not quite ready for Christmas movies, so we'll probably find something else to watch. And I don't have to make dinner tonight because we have leftovers from last night's, which is my favorite when we have leftovers, because then I don't have to cook. Anyways, it's time to go get the boy and see how his day was. Okay. A little bit. You ready to go get Jaden from school? You want to go get Jaden? Whoa, there you go.